Hello again, my friends, and you are my friends, and welcome to your Monday Night Talking Town. I'm, of course, your host, The Gov. Looking forward to kicking off Monday nights, our first of the season. And, of course, as it's our first of the season, it wouldn't be right to kick off Monday nights without the return of Mr. Monday Night himself. As always, we can't do this show without you wonderful people at home, so do get active in the live chat. Get your comments in. I will also get you a link so you can come on and have your say. This is your football club, your platform, so have your say on all things Ipswich Town. Adie's in the room. Good evening, Adie. Colin, can't wait tomorrow night to see a proper football club in Wolverhampton Wanderers. Bring it on. Paul P. I should be there. Can't get enough of it at the moment. Love that. Moby, each chapter of your book says, oh, one of the year, another idiots in the League Cup. That's Colin's book, I believe he's referring to there. Will we reach the fourth round for the first time in 13 years? And Phil Blundell's loving the shirt, Gov. Wish I had that. Yes, just grab this little number out of the cupboard. I was wearing the Talking Town merch, but I got toothpaste down it, so I had to make a late change, a late substitution. I hope I've done you all proud there at home. Before we go any further, hit the like button, subscribe if you're brand new to Talking Town. As always, we'll hit a like target of 100. We'll go low tonight. First one back in a long time. Hopefully the appetite for Monday night is still there. I asked for your 3-word reviews at the weekend. I have some wonderful 3-word reviews, such as Lucinda Steed on Twitter. It's another win. Angela McDonald, goal, glorious goals. Billy Baxter, goals win games. And it was a wonderful weekend. Ipswich Town 4, Blackburn 3. Not for the faint-hearted, let's be brutally honest, but let's kick things off. Get in him, Mr. Monday Night himself. Designer, George Nunn.
I wouldn't be surprised either way.
There he is, Mr. Monday Night himself. It's been a while, man. How are you?
Isn't it? Yeah, I'm good.
It's been so long on a Monday night that before we went live, we had to change the overlays from last year's to this year's. Not to say we are not prepared on a Talking Town, but
don't tell them how the sausage is made.
Yeah. Well, absolutely. But hey, things are rosy in the town garden, right?
Aren't they just?
We've been known to do Monday night shows where it can go one way or the other. It's 9th in the table. Will we ever get to see 8th again? Those days at the moment, such were seemingly behind us, George. That was in League One.
I was a bit worried about coming on, to be honest with you. I don't want to jinx anything. I've been doing everything exactly the same for the last few weeks. I don't want to change anything. I'm wearing the same shirts for the same games. I'm like, yep. I was a bit, hopefully we don't jinx it, but yeah, isn't it going phenomenally well?
You see, isn't that surprising? Because I didn't have you down as the horseshoe kind of guy. I didn't have you down as the lucky pants.
I'm not down for away shirts at home games. all of that stuff, I can't do it.
Yeah, no, I'm with you there. But are you big on your luck? Are you mad? Because I didn't have you pegged. I'll be honest. I didn't have you pegged down somebody who believed in that.
Only really with football. It's one of those weird things, isn't it?
It's like a weird concept.
Yeah, I couldn't bring myself, because I'm not the biggest fan of the home kit this season, but I've got it and I wear it. This week I was very close to going in last season's, but yeah, it's
big no.
Yeah, no, I can't do it. Have to put it on. I have to put it on even if I'm here and listening to it.
You see, I say big no. For those that have been with us since the start, they'll know I'm not a big shirt connoisseur, but I do like this year's home shirt primarily for for this very reason. The collar here.
It's exactly the same with me. I'm just not a collar fan, so it's no slight against the shirt or those that like it. It's just,
mate, I love a collar on a shirt because you can put a jumper underneath, right? Go to football, then after the game, whip it off, put the shirt on, put the jumper on, sit the collar over the jumper, and then it's party time.
Oh, we're not all as socially active as you. That's the problem, Gosh. So
I've stopped being invited to parties. I don't know why. Things I say, apparently. Dan says
football shirts under jumpers.
Nothing wrong with that. Dan says, gents, just want to say thanks for all your hard work. Really great content and always a great listen. We appreciate that. I know I appreciate it as the host, and I know George obviously does our wonderful, aesthetically beautiful artwork. Appreciates that. Paul says, good evening, everybody. First Canaries stuff, then we'll be at the Wolves. All good. Yeah, it was a great weekend for football if you're a Town fan, because obviously not only did Ipswich win in dramatic fashion after it was looking comfortable, Norwich got well and truly beaten as well.
Yeah, which was a bit of a surprise by all accounts. I thought they were feeling good about themselves and being all positive. But yeah, love to see
Yeah.
it.
It was a great weekend. But how are you feeling, Nick? Obviously, we say it's a great weekend. It's been a great season. But at 3-1, half time, done and dusted. Get the feet up. Get looking through the Google Drive for the 3-word review graphic. Who do I choose? And then suddenly it all sort of turned on its head. And Rich, still on yesterday's show at 3-3, he thought there's only kind of one team going to win it, and that was probably Blackburn for his money.
Yeah,
how did you see the 90 on Saturday?
Yeah, I said the same to my boy, and afterwards I think maybe that was just a hangover from Ipswich of old, or watching Ipswich of old in that sort of position. But I spent the entirety of half time, and this isn't the line. It's only because I was too lazy to go out the back. But I spent the entirety trying to get internet access on my phone so that I could see if I could cash out my bet, because I had 3-1 and I had 3-2 as my bet with Hurst to score any time. So it was obviously 3-1, and I thought they'll probably give me at least my stake back for that. And there's no way it's finishing 3-2. I just, like, whatever was going to happen, there was not only going to be one goal in the second half. So, and unfortunately, I couldn't get onto Paddy Power. But yeah, and right, I was proved. It was right. I was proven. It was just one of those games, and you had that feeling that I don't know what the guys said yesterday, but they looked like they were starting to give us problems down their left hand side on towards the end of the first half. And that change, which I thought was actually quite surprising, bringing their number 10 on, but was stroke of genius, wasn't it? It just disrupted us enough, and we didn't really have an answer for it for a few minutes. And I felt it was almost the first time I thought another coach had made McKenna scratch his head a little bit, like in game. So fair play to John Dale Thompson, and fair play to McKenna for sorting it out. But yeah, I think I was in the same boat as Rich at 3-3. I did kind of think, I just hope they don't score again.
Yeah, whereas Max Fax was opposite. He felt at 3-3, it was always going to be at least one more goal in it for us. And the Joe Royal-esque days are back at Portman Road, George, where you might score 3 goals.
I think that's it. Exactly. I think that's exactly right. It's my first to admit that I think mine was probably just a hangover of having watched too much of us capitulate from winning positions over the last 20 years. And or most of that 20 years. So, yeah, I'm not surprised those that were more confident, but it was, I was exhausted afterwards. That's the only word for it, really. I was just exhausted.
Yeah, and I think everyone walking out of the ground, particularly people I spoke to on the match reaction show, were the same. Exhausted, exhilarated, speechless. A little bit after, I guess after Leeds or Cardiff. What have we just seen? More goals. I remember Matt saying, if we score 3 at home, you won't see us lose many games. And at 3-3, I'm thinking, good Lord, we scored 3 again, and we could be walking out of here without the point. But it wasn't to be. McKenna's men come through, and after every game, I like to ask social media for 3-word reviews, and we get them in a big number. And I really thank every single person for sending those through. And we'll try and use as many as we can on the shows. Yesterday, we didn't use any yesterday. That was my mistake. It was on my notes. I didn't look at the notes. I don't like scripts, George. All right? Sometimes, though, I write myself a little script.
Better when we don't think too much about it.
It does. Sometimes I write little bullet points, spend half an hour bullet pointing out things, and then never actually look at it through a live show. And I look back and think, wasted half an hour of your life there, didn't you, love? Gov. So, yeah, like, hey, I've got some tonight. That's the most important thing. As I've said, though, we've got Angela McDonald, goals, glorious goals. Billy Baxter, goals, win games. Jonathan here says, must defend better. He's got a point, Jonathan, isn't he?
Yeah, I thought their first goal would kind of threw back to the Leeds a little bit. It just felt like they walked through us, and we let it happen, which was a little frustrating. But I mean, you've got to be hypercritical of this team if you're going to be constructive about them at all, right? Like it doesn't feel right being too critical of them, but yeah, it does still feel a little bit like we're sacrificing goals for something else, which is fine if we're going to score 4, but yeah, it was a little uncomfortable at times, and obviously Ladke's, was it 3, that same straight pass out from the back down the middle that he underhits was just was a little frustrating, but there's definitely room for improvement there. It'd be interesting to see what happens if, as and when, Tuanzebe's finds himself fit.
Oh, okay. So let's live in the world of fantasy for a second. He's fully fit. He's ready to go. You're not breaking up Big Cam and Luke, are you? You are, aren't you? You are. You're going to come between Cam and Luke. Look, this is like, dun, dun, dun.
Who knows? But like, he's a £20 million like the sort of numbers that people were talking about with him. Like, and you watch him play football against Mbappe and some of his highlights are just phenomenal. I mean, like, of course, I'm not suggesting
look good on the highlight package, mate.
Yeah, true. You've never seen me. I'm not suggesting he walks into the team, and Burgess has done very little to warrant being kicked out of the team over the last few weeks. So it is tough to say, but equally it's tough to say that what is probably our highest paid footballer has come here to sit on the bench and watch Cam and Wolfie play every week. And so I'm not saying he just walks into the team. Of course,
You're not ruling that out either. You're doing
well. I mean, if we keep conceding 3 at home, no, I'm not. We scored 4, but I don't want to see us concede 3 goals at home every week. That's like
no, I don't either. To be fair, because some of the better
and I've been to two of the games for my season ticket so far this season, and I've seen 14 goals, and 7 of them were against us. So there is room for improvement in defence.
There is. Paul P. I was on the fence. Could have gone either way for me. Andy says Amari terrorised him in the build up to that winner. And we'll come on to Amari shortly. I mean, that was you talk about John Dale Thomason there, who, by the way, I used to sign on Pro Manager 98. That's another sign you're getting old when the players you sign on are now in the dugout.
A sign of me getting old is you saying you're getting old.
Exactly. And I'll keep saying it just to make you feel better, all right? Philip Blundell, we committed bodies forward and McKenna wanted to go for it, and we did. And why? Well, I think it means why you push bodies forward, you leave yourself, or when. And when you push bodies forward, you leave yourself exposed at the back. Paul Peter Murray, that the left back, terrified from the moment he came on. Curate is actually in the same area you are, in the sense of no space for sentimentality. Twin Zabi plays if fit. So, Paul Smith, Suffolk punch galloping. Oh, I like that. That's nice. For those that did go on Saturday, for those that perhaps didn't go on Saturday, you probably would have been humming or singing a very familiar song over the weekend, and it might go a bit like Massimo. It is, of course, Massimo Luongo. Again, I said on Saturday, it's the last time I'm singing that song. Here I find myself singing the song. It is his birthday today, so happy birthday to Massimo. How did you see his game on raise a glass? How did you see his game on Saturday, George? Here are his stats on the screen. Minutes played 90, touches 69, pass accuracy 76%, key passes 4, shots 1, tackles 6, goals 1, possession loss 13, a SOFA score rating of 8.2 for our Australian wizard. How did you see him and his performance? Obviously, the match winner on Saturday.
That kind of says it all, doesn't it? Really, I thought he was great. I thought, yeah. I mean, he's one that I think has probably surprised most. Obviously, finished amazingly well at the back end of last season, and it was absolutely right that we signed him on. But I'm not sure anyone thought that he would necessarily be in the starting lineup from the beginning with Taylor coming in. But like you were saying about Cam, like, it's going to take something to get him out of the team. And yeah, again, long may it continue. I thought he took his goal really, really well, and just generally was bossing it as Morsey was, as they do every week. It's just incredible.
Is there something to be said though about playing Massimo and Morsey in the same midfield at home and still conceding 3? Is that an area of concern? Because are they both traditionally home midfield players? I don't know. I'm asking you the question.
Yeah, I mean, I think they are quite similar as players. I think they offer relatively similar things, but it works for us. I don't think our centre midfield was really the issue for me on Saturday. Okay. I don't think that was really where the threat came from, where the space came from. As I say, that sort of space down our left was what felt like it created their left was what created the problem for us, with players being pulled around all over the place. But you know, again, we dealt with it eventually. But I think I'm not wishing for either of them to. I'm not sat here saying, why do we spend all this money on Taylor and not play him?
Guilty.
Yeah.
I'm still driving that bandwagon, George. I'm never getting off the Jack Taylor bandwagon. But while Massimo's performing as he is, you know, so long may it continue. Jordan Hall said Massimo steps up on Facebook, and George on Facebook, Maximum Massimo Luongo. And there was lots of love for Massimo on Saturday, and rightfully so, because he was, as the stats suggest, here, there, and everywhere as the song goes, and he was a really phenomenal player, particularly Saturday. Another one I've picked out, the needle mover, got himself a goal, hit the side of the post after what was probably an absolute mouth-watering move from back to front. Something we've grown accustomed to, I guess, under McKenna. That is, of course, Nathan Broadhead. 7.9 SOFA score rating for the needle mover. 83 minutes played, 44 touches, 79% pass accuracy, 3 key passes, 5 shots, 3 tackles, 1 goal, lost possession 8 times. Another look, Saturday for me proved why I called him the needle mover. He was phenomenal.
Yeah, agreed. I think it's not that he goes missing in games. I think he can be quite unassuming in games sometimes, and then just pops up with this sort of moment or 2 moments of just phenomenal football. But I thought Saturday was as good as I've seen him play throughout. If I'm honest, I thought he was just excellent. And I was keeping a particular eye on him. I told my boy to watch him as well. So I was watching, and I just thought he was excellent. And again, if he can keep that up, if he can influence games that much for that consistently, then he's just going to get better and better.
Yeah, and as Norman points out, the January window gets better and better, because obviously on Saturday, all 4 of our January signings scored. That is a real solid window for Mark Ashton and co. That, isn't it? You know, you've taken Massimo from Borough, who couldn't, you know, he wasn't getting minutes there. You've not only kept him fit, you're getting the best out of him.
Yeah.
Broadhead for 1.5, which now seems an absolute steal in 2023. Just a phenomenal window, really.
Yeah. Same with keeping him fit as well, and it just gets. It does look like a phenomenal window, as does the summer before, and Lord knows what they're feeding them, because for Davis to come back and be fit for this weekend after how serious his injury looked like it, or sounded like it might have been only 7 days ago, and it's just I'm literally speechless. Like, in terms of how this season has gone, could you have asked for more? Could you have?
No, 21 points from the first couple of
Start from being top, which seems crazy that we're not after to have this many points after this many games. But it's just unbelievable.
It's a special moment, and as Mick Mill said on the radio, and various other people have said across social media, something special is happening at Ipswich Town, and we're here to witness it. For the good reasons, for once, not the bad. We've often sat here thinking something's happening at Ipswich Town, and it ain't the good reasons. But with Nathan Broadhead, something that did the rounds is his goal reactions and the way he celebrates the goals. And at times, it might be quite a strange thing to say. I want to get your opinion on it. Is he an emotional player, Nathan Broadhead, in the sense of, in times that you say, sort of ebbs and flows, but when he gets into the emotion of a game, that's when you see the best of Nathan Broadhead, because he gets a hold of it, he gets into it, and there's something inside of him, that winner mentality, the sort of, and he goes.
I think that's in all of them, and I think that's a really good point. But I don't think it's just Broadhead. I think that's one of the amazing things that McKenna and crew have instilled in the whole squad is that they genuinely look like they are playing for one another, and all they want is to play well, be successful, celebrate with each other. Like Chaplin pushing Massimo into the box to take his plaudits after full time on. Yeah, because he does seem like quite a humble guy, and Chaplin was like, no, you need to go and stand in front of North Stand and take this. And little things like that, and like Broadhead celebrations. It's the sort of stuff that you wouldn't necessarily see. I think I sat here, must have been close to 2 years ago, and I think I derided Norwood slightly for when we scored a goal. He just sort of turned around. It wasn't him that scored it. He just turned around and strolled back, and that kind of thing bugs me as much as I enjoy seeing the celebrations, because like why are you there? If you're not there to enjoy what's just happened, then you've missed the point.
Enjoy football.
And I think, yeah, exactly. And I think whatever you enjoy it, whether it's for the winning or for being there with your teammates, or being part of it, or whatever it is, you're not just playing for yourself, right? That's bonkers. And there was something about that one time, and it obviously stuck in my craw because I still remember it. But I think just the mentality across the squad at the moment, I think, is great. But I think you may very well be right. I think Broadhead probably feeds off of it as much as any.
We've got a Leeds fan in the chat, Arthur. Welcome in, Arthur. Make yourself at home. Listen up about the world's greatest football team, Ipswich Town Football Club. Yeah, you might learn a couple of things. He's giving it in. Arthur's giving.
There's cockiness after 8 games is only going to come back and bite us.
Hey, Arthur's giving it in the chat. He says, "Best team you played got taught a little lesson." Fair play to Arthur. That is a spot on comment. We only, one of the Leeds did beat us. Hey, this is Ipswich Town. It's a talking town, rather. This is Ipswich Town's fan platform. But man, making him feel at home. Other sofa scores. Before we bring in, I've dropped the link. Link is in the chat. We've got Colin in the wings waiting to come on. Not heard from Colin in such a long time on the platform. Almost as long a time of you than you, George. Like, he's been on the match reaction shows.
He wants to come on and say hello to me, doesn't he?
This is what it is. This is what it is. We don't see him for a long time. Then George is on the platform, and we see him on the bottom of the screen. I like that. It's that camaraderie, you see. This is the Chaplin and Massimo moment. He's going to push you forward and take the plaudits. Take the plaudits. A couple of other sofa score ratings, if you like. Luke Wolfen got a 6.5. Agree, disagree, and why do you agree or disagree? And how would you rate him?
How does sofa score work these things out? I thought Wolfenton was really good on. I thought he was good on Saturday. I don't remember him putting a foot wrong, to be honest with you. Where does that come from? What are his numbers? Have you got his numbers? It's a bonkers.
I can get you his numbers.
No, it's fine. I don't want to dwell on it, to be honest with you. I think that feels harsh based on what I.
It's all stats based, isn't it?
But I wouldn't give any. I probably wouldn't give any. If you asked me the scores out of 10 for all of our players, I probably wouldn't have given any of them.
Oh, it gets better than here. It gets better. It gets better from here, though, George. Wes Burns 6.6.
Yep. Okay. I don't know. Again, what's it? I don't know what his number.
How did you see his performance? Forget the sofa score rating from it. How did you see Wes's performance? Obviously, Amari comes on, absolutely shines.
The only reason I huffed a little bit is I think he was. It felt like he was getting found out a little bit defensively, but I don't think he necessarily was. I think he was doing as he was told. Because I think he probably would have come off sooner if he was being found out. I think, and that, I can only assume that sort of. No, as Phil was saying, that we know the way we play is going to leave gaps somewhere, and it just happened to leave a gap behind Burns on Saturday, and he didn't come off looking brilliant defensively. But that's not me criticising Burns, because I think he was up against 2 quick players in both halves, and he was doing a hell of a shift trying to get forward, but then he was having to do this shift trying to get back too, and he just can't be everywhere. He can't fill that space going forward and transition into suddenly being a right back, like just by clicking your fingers. So I felt a couple of times I tutted a little bit early on, but I think when I realised that he was on a hiding to nothing, I think that's harsh. But it's probably based on his numbers and however that's figured out. But it's based on what I saw, that feels harsh.
Yeah, and obviously you saw about John Dole Tomlinson's tactical switch for Blackburn. McKenna countered the move with a couple of tweaks of his own, and one of the players he brought on was Omari Hutchinson. Max Facts 3-word review: Omari a star after his fantastic performance Tuesday night against Southampton when he got himself a goal. He's backed that up with another sensational cameo appearance. Just how good was Omari a star?
Yeah. So my boss is a Chelsea fan, and he's been asking me every Monday how he's played, and I've been saying to him up until today, I've been saying he's been getting better. I said on Wednesday, scored a great goal, sent him a video, a clip of his celebration. It's all been very positive, but this morning I couldn't have been more positive about how he played on Saturday if I tried. I just thought he was phenomenal. What a player he's going to be. What an absolute star he has the potential to be. Like, he just looks like he's got it all, and he tracks back.
He's learning as well, very quickly.
Yeah, very and quickly. I think that's it. Like, he seems to be getting so much. He's obviously going to hit a ceiling at some point, but like, that's. I would, again, it would be harsh on Burns, but I wouldn't think twice if he did Burns get his 5th booking on Saturday? Was that?
No, that was Morsey.
No, Morsey. Yeah, I at some point he's going to get his chance from the start, and if he can play like that for 65, 70 minutes, then yeah, what a player we're going to have for a season.
He's got all the tools to be a fantastic player. And when he arrived, I don't think anyone really doubted he had the tools. It was the rawness, particularly the early couple of games, that was sort of quite stood out really for me. The rawness, and what surprised me with Omari more than anything is just how quickly, like a sponge, he's taken on the information that McKennan's obviously given him, and the training pointers that he's obviously got Monday to Friday at Playford Road. That's a really amazing thing to see a young player develop as quickly and adapt and get as better so quickly. And if that's only in the first, month or two of the season, imagine what months 5 and 6 of the season are going to look like for him. It's going to be a phenomenal, if he can carry that on and accelerate his development. It's going to be a phenomenal player. And as somebody said yesterday, it could be Ardialo.
Yeah, all you see in him is goals or assists or penalties. That every time he got the ball, it was like, well, he's going to find it. He's either going to find his way through here, or he's going to end up on the floor, because they couldn't touch him at all. And he was unlucky. He was really unlucky not to contribute more to assists and goals. I thought in the few, it was only relatively few minutes.
I agree.
If he can start a game like that with that energy and enthusiasm and play like that, then
special. Very special. And it's always quite fun watching fullbacks, be that left or right, in the first couple of exchanges with Omari. Give him that half a yard to a yard down the outside. They're almost daring him. Well, go on, If you think you can beat me down the outside, take it. And then every time he does it, then afterwards, you're like watching the fullback and he's dropped off a yard. He's not quite as confident in showing Omari the byline.
Do you show him inside or do you show him outside? Like there was no playing him on Saturday. And
the traditional thinking is you show him the byline because they can't hurt you by. But with Omari, you give him half a yard to a yard of there's the byline, take it, see if you can get around me. He's around you and gone before you've even blinked.
Yeah, I thought he was. I thought he was great.
Really, really great. Moby Omari works his socks off. McKenna has got him dialed into what he expects of him. Absolutely. We're going to bring in Colin. Colin, welcome in, my man. How you doing?
Hello, Gav. How are you? Hello, George.
Colin, all right?
Are you both well?
Oh, well, we're living and loving life, Colin, because Town have got 21 points and it's all gone and going so well so far. How have you seen life at Portman Road? How are you feeling on this Monday night?
Well, I've just got to say that, just to underline everything that's been said today. I mean, what people have been saying on the radio and whatever. I mean, this is, I text Melanie, where's his mum, the other day, and I absolutely meant every word what I said. I said, I'm so proud, so proud to be a Town fan. I've always been proud to be an Ipswich Town fan, but at this moment in time, I'm so proud. And I've said it before, and I'll say it again. I'm so happy for the younger people, and I include you. Your age groups, my son's age groups, Rich, his children, Matt's children, and everybody else's children. And I've never seen so many kids wearing Ipswich Town tops, and it's coming back. I've got a neighbour who lives over the road. His daughter went for the first time on Saturday. She's about 8 or 9 years old. Shout out to Louisiana, if she's watching. I saw her mum, Charlotte, today, and I said, did she enjoy it? She said she absolutely couldn't believe what she saw. She loved it, every second of it. And that's what's happening to this football club, generally right across the board. It's fantastic. And like everybody keeps saying, and I can only echo that. Long may it continue. Fantastic. I've said it, Gov, for ages now, and I'll say it till I'm blue in the face. Thank you to our owners. Thank you to Mike O'Leary, Ashton, the players, and especially thank you to the fans, because the fans this year and for the last 3 or 4 years have been quite, or the last couple of years especially, have been quite extraordinary. I've followed Ipswich Town up and down the country when we was chasing the league title. We never took as many, trust me everybody, we never took as many to places even like Old Trafford, like we're taking to places like Huddersfield now. The fans really deserve to pat themselves. Absolutely tremendous. And
yeah,
as all the football club in general.
You mentioned our owners there. Obviously, some news coming out today that Game Changer 20 are acquiring some land. I believe it's the land, some of the land owned by our previous owner, Marcus Evans. So some more infrastructure, more movements off the field. Obviously, this is in regards to the Playford Road redevelopment, Colin. So even more love and care and more TLC and infrastructure being built around the football club.
Yeah, and to be honest with you, Gov and George, this is exactly what we needed, because I can't think of the name of their training ground now. Anyway, Norwich City's training ground. I've obviously heard through certain people you probably know I'm referring to, that their training ground is really top notch, and one of the best apparently. Around. The area, obviously, for quite a few miles, one of the best, going. And we had to play a little bit of catch up, on that lot down the road. We're certainly catching them up at pace, and that's great news, Martin, because nobody likes youth. And, because obviously that's where your young lads can be going up of an evening and doing their training and stuff under the lights. And if the facilities, I think they've put 3 new Deso pitches in up there, and it's just getting better and better by the minute. I'm itching to see what's going to be done with all that bit of ground at the back of the Alf Ramsey. At the moment, they're using it just like as a surplus kind of car park, but I'm sure that's not what it's going to finish up to be. But it's unbelievable, Governor, what's happening to the club. It's brilliant, George.
It is, yeah. Joe S., as a teacher on the Norfolk-Suffolk border, I've seen a decade of Norwich shirts. The last 18 months have shown town shirts back in force. My 8-year-old son can't stop talking about ITFC. I'm over the moon. Things are happening, George.
By the way, Gov, I just thought of something. I went up to see my mum this afternoon because my mum's back in hospital. She's not too bad, to be fair.
Sorry to hear that.
Thank you, Gov. Anyway, I was coming along by Hardwick Heath there, and believe it or not, I bumped into my best friend's son, who's a Leeds fan. Kev Gorty's son, legal. And I couldn't believe what came out of his mouth. He actually said, and I must admit, I said this myself on Sunday to Andrew. He said, I think Leicester, Ipswich and Leeds will go up. And to tell you the truth, I'm not disagreeing with him. That's exactly what I said to Andrew on Sunday. I think those 3 clubs, Leicester obviously got the money, just come down from the Premier League. Leeds have got a bit of money. Ipswich allegedly have got a bit. We've got a bit more. If we're in and around where we are now in January, I think we'll spend again. And that's who I would go for. I would go for Leicester, and I am not joking. I'd go for Leicester, Leeds, and Ipswich. They're my three.
Okay, George,
would you agree with that, Gun?
I'm going to ask George. I'm the host. I can remain. I can remain impartial when I need to. When I need to. George, what are your thoughts on that?
Look, all I look at on my spreadsheet every week is how close we are to being safe.
Sorry, not what I was expecting the answer to be. And how far away are we from being safe? By the way, how far away are we?
Just under halfway. But look, I'm being slightly facetious. It's on there, but like, I think this is really early doors, and if we keep up this trajectory, we're going to get 118 points. So we're going to drop some points at some point. But I think. I think it's starting to feel like we're a top 6 side. If I'm honest,
I'll tell you what,
over a season, it feels like we are, but we're not. We're going to come up. There's going to be hardship at some point in this season, and that's And when it comes, we've all just got to make sure that we have no divine right to be first or second. I'm not going to. I wouldn't commit to that at the moment. I think there's a lot to happen in this season before I get down to talking about the top 3.
I'll tell you what, George, that's a good point. I'll tell you what, George, I did say to Lee today when we was having our conversation, and I could hear Rich in my ear, and he'd be absolutely right. Don't look any further ahead than the next game, which is absolutely spot on. But when you look, like we always do, we look at our 9-point or our 3-game week. Our 3-game week coming up this week, on the back of just a 9-point week, we have got Huddersfield away, Hull at home, and Preston at home. Now, I said to Lee, and I'll repeat what I said to Lee, I think this next week is massive. I mean, absolutely massive for our football club, because I think if we could produce a 7 or a 9-point week this coming week, I really believe we are nailed on top 6. Nailed on.
I'm not going to say no to your confidence there, Colin, because you've been right every step of the way. So
great. Like I'm not. I wouldn't knock anyone for it, and I really wouldn't. I don't want to get too far ahead of myself. I
agree with that, George.
Your point's right, Colin. Or Rich's point that he would make, I'm sure, is absolutely right. I don't think that's the way that the squad works, and it's not me saying 6 is what we should be aiming for, survival is what we should be aiming for. Like as a fan right now, all I want is to make sure that we are in a position to carry on the progress that we've made. And that progress, the trajectory of that progress, if it finds us in the Premier League, fine. But at the moment, that progress is longer term than that. And the first step of that for me is making sure that we cement our place in the Championship. Don't get me wrong. I don't want us to finish bloody 15th, but I think that the way the team approaches this, I think McKenna's approach to this kind of thing, to all of it, is one game at a time. And at some point, we're going to wake up and be amazed where we're at.
George, I would never dispute that. And I'll tell you what, I can hear Rich in my ear. And he always says to me, and he's absolutely right, one game at a time. And I am only looking at Huddersfield at the moment. But what I'm trying to say is, because we all say it, we all look at that. We're not looking at Norwich at Christmas. We're not looking at Leicester on Boxing Day. We're looking at the next week. That's all. And the next week, Gov, is a massive week in our football club. It really is. You're playing Huddersfield away, that's winnable. You're playing Hull at home.
Say his name too many times that Colin only appears.
It's like Beetlejuice.
It is. Rich. Suddenly there's a comment from Rich out of nowhere. Like he sat on his settee somewhere and he's gone, someone's saying my name. I must have been talking town.
He's right, though. He's right. No, he is right. But I say, Hull at home on Tuesday, going so well. Preston at home, I'm not quite so bothered about, if I'm honest. But I think if we get 7 or 9 points out of our next week, we're flying, absolutely flying. But also, can I just
very quickly?
Sorry, Gav. That's lovely to be on. Can I mention about tomorrow night? I know times are hard. I really appreciate that more than anybody. I've been working class all my life. Times are hard. People have been going here, there, and everywhere, and literally here, there, and everywhere. So I appreciate all of that. But the people who do go tomorrow night, obviously including myself, get right behind the lads and let's bloody do well in a competition that's always been a dagger to my heart. It's the only competition we've never won in my lifetime. I'm not going to say we're going to win it, but come on, let's have a decent shot at it, and let's all go to the Etihad or somewhere like that. Wouldn't that be lovely?
Oh, beautiful, Colin. Yeah, it'd be beautiful. It'd be lovely. I appreciate you coming on. Look after yourself. All the best to the GOAT, Colin Plum. He's not getting too far ahead, but he's already on hold.
now on 6.
Norwich in December. He's already looking at the playoff finals in May. He's already booked the travel lodge. He's not getting too far ahead of himself, though, George.
This is the problem here. Like when we start feeling the pressure, let's just enjoy. Like we're already flying. Like Colin's absolutely right. If we get 7 or 9 points from this week, but we're already flying. Let's absolutely enjoy it and hope that it lasts for as long as it can last. But let's not turn it into pressure, because we're not. Let's not at any point expect for this season to be a top 2 season. If it happens, amazing. But let's try not to put too much pressure on ourselves or the team.
Yeah, and just for those that are listening in Hearts, at the start of the season, I felt no pressure, which this was supposed to be a season of consolidation, but now the pressure is ramping up. Hold up, before we go any further, we are a platform that's for the fans, by the fans, but we can't be here without our 5th standards. They have hit the button on YouTube called Join, or head to our Kofi, $4.99. You can cancel at any point. Sign up, support the platform. Link is in the chat right now. You get a lovely green title if you hit the join button on YouTube. You just get my love and admiration if you go to Kofi and sign yourself up through there, because they don't give me the function to make your name a different color. But hey, I say thank you from the bottom of my heart. You get access to the Discord, which is full of wonderful debate. One of our YouTube supporters, Finch's Rest Cemetery, says us mere fans are only human. The feel-good factor is intoxicating. A good January window, and we were the real deal. We need to tighten up at the back, as we won't be scoring 4 every week. I don't know about that. I don't know. Who knows? Who knows anything with anything? What we do know?
4 every week. 4 every week. I just don't want us to be conceding 3 every week.
No, you probably certainly don't have match bingos if you've got the old goal scorer cards out. Good Lord. The days of a Mick McCarthy 0-0 are long gone. Beautiful. What we do know is tomorrow we are playing Wolves in the Cup, and can Town reach the 4th round for the first time in 13 years? What are your thoughts heading in? Because obviously it's a Cup game. We're used to a raft of changes. Are you just excited to see us play against the Premier League side? Are you just get it over and done with? Don't get the injuries. Where are you on it?
I'm not as excited about the League Cup as Colin, I'll be honest. Sorry to rain on his parade after he just gave a rallying call for everyone to go and watch. It'll be a good test, and for whoever plays, I suspect that Wolves will be changed, and I suspect that we will also be a changed team with all the games coming up. So it's one of those that it's difficult to predict too much, but we'll be strong because we seem to be strong whoever we put out, which is great. Like a second string team, if you can call it that, doesn't feel like a reserve team like it used to, which is a positive. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what kind of test Wolves give us and how we can respond. So yeah, I'll be watching with interest from here, but I'm not too excited about it. Saturday's a big one for me.
Yeah, we're back in that territory of you don't want too many cup games to distract you from the league, because the league's going so well. You don't want, for me, distractions, but we've lived in that world for the last God knows how long, and it's never done us any good in the past.
Yeah,
so...
I'm not sure I see it as a a distraction, something like, because I think the way that we manage the squad and stuff, and the way that we can rely on our those let's call them reserves for the sake of it. Those fringe players are. I don't have any doubt that they will put in a decent performance, and it will be great for them to get game time. So I don't necessarily see it as a kind of waste of time like maybe I used to when we just chucked out the under 21s and hope for the best, and very rarely got it. But I'm not too concerned.
Okay, well, I've picked an 11. I think McKenna might pick tomorrow. I want you to tell me what you think, what you feel, if you make any changes. Where I have selected certain players. So here's how I view the 11 for tomorrow. Slicker in goal, Danassian at right back, Edmondson, Baggett, Williamson. It's not Williamson, it's Williams. I did that on Saturday with my nan, you know. I said to him, Brandon Williamson. And she went, who's Brandon Williamson? I said, I'm only a town podcaster now. Of course, his name Williamson. The program, his name is Williams, isn't it? Evans, Morsey, Hutchinson, Harness, and Scarlett, Ladapo. What are your thoughts on that, including the new signing, Brandon Williamson?
I don't think that's far. You don't think Taylor will?
No, because I think Taylor's going to play on Saturday. You see, unless you want to put your main man Lee Evans in on Saturday. I know you'd be supportive, Lee. Well,
I mean, he does see how he does tomorrow.
Scarlett's Cup side. I've had a mare here, haven't I? Scarlett's Cup side, apparently. So
that is a shame, actually.
That is a shame because I would like to see Dane Scarlett.
Because I was trying, and this isn't. I don't mean this is a slight on him at all. Before someone jumps on me and tells me what the answer is, but I was trying to figure out what Scarlett's things were on Saturday. Like he's not blessed with didn't seem to be blessed with huge amounts of pace. Not massively strong, I didn't think. He's not huge height wise. I'm sure he's got it. Don't get me wrong. There's a reason that he's so well thought of. Didn't quite see it on Saturday. So it's a shame if he is cup tied because I thought that would have been a good chance for him. But I don't think your team's too far wrong, apart from all of the ones that can't play or
Brandon Williamson. Or don't exist. I mean, it does exist. I've just added a son or an on.
There's a Brandon Williamson out there somewhere. He's just not aware.
Yeah. As well as things can go, I think that probably went as well as I don't think everyone noticed. I don't think.
I mean, clearly you care about as much about the league as I do.
Couldn't give a. I'm not going, George. That's when you know that the interest is not. I am bothered. Win, lose, draw. I want to see us win, but I'm not particularly bothered. I am a little bit upset that Scarlett's cup side, not just because the graphics wrong, but because I would really like to have seen him play from the start tomorrow, get minutes under his belt, and just see where McKenna utilised him. Because I was looking at the makeup of the squad, and I was thinking, okay, so you want to rest Broadhead, Chaplin, and Burns. So you think Harness comes in, Amari comes in. Who goes on the right if you need someone to play on? If Amari's playing on the left, for example, well, Caden Jackson. Well, if he's carrying a knock, maybe a Dane Scarlett. Would he put Scarlett out wide on the right, or would he put Scarlett up top? Who does he bring a Luco in? I just was intrigued to see his thinking, McKenna's thinking, and how he sees Scarlett, how he sees, I won't call them B and C in the rotation list, but the players that are perhaps pushing the incumbent shirt holders in what positions. But as he's cup tied, you don't get to see that. So you're still left with those question marks you're thinking in regards of is he a winger, is he a striker?
Exactly.
McKenna
it might be interesting if Burns plays tomorrow. It might suggest that Hutchinson's played himself into a contention for starting on Saturday. But I mean, probably a Luco. Yeah,
or Cam Humphreys.
Yeah, true.
Which would be good. But I'm not starting Jack Taylor, or I wouldn't be starting Jack Taylor. I'd be playing Morsey because Morsey can't play Saturday. Who, by the way, Sam Morsey is on the overseas list for the Egyptian team for the next round of international fixtures in October. Great for our captain. Well done on that. But as he can't play Saturday, I would be playing him Tuesday alongside Lee Evans. Surely I'm just thinking Jack Taylor's ahead of Evans in the pecking order, having come on Saturday over an Evans, having started at Tuesday night over Evans. it seems to be when Morsi or Massimo so far this year, anyway. When Morsi and Massimo can't go, Taylor's de facto number 3.
Yeah, and Evans is captaining the cup side.
Just not tomorrow because Morsi's playing, but yeah. Although you can give him the armband if you want, you know. Feels a bit like a consolidation trophy, you know, a participation trophy. Well done for trying, Lee. Here's the armband anyway. But yeah. But Colin says Taylor for me. Would you be tempted to play Lee Evans on Saturday?
No.
No?
No, I think I'd play Taylor if he's not playing tomorrow. I think that's
okay.
He'd be my choice. Yeah, for the reasons that you said, he seems to be ahead of him at the moment.
Yeah, of course you might. If you're going tomorrow, you might see Sonny Aluko play, which, you know, it's telling it the, you know. Actually, no, we've had quite a few cup games to be fair, so he's getting quite the run out this year. But you know, it's good to get the whole team involved, don't it? You know,
100%. Yep.
It is. You know, before we go, we've got a couple more 3-word reviews. I want you to sort of just tell me what you think of them, not directly about them, but whether you agree with the point they're making, whether you disagree with the point they're making. Elaborate a little bit more from the 3 words. So, Richard Chandler, theme of the night. We are going up.
I thought it was supposed to be 3 words.
Yeah, I know. I let Richard have one more added word.
I'm going to assume there was an apostrophe in there somewhere.
So am I.
let's hope we are.
I didn't say my notes were good. I didn't say what I prepared was good. But I put my best foot. You know,
first Monday back for a little while. We can be rusty. It's okay.
I've had a migraine all day. There you go. I'll get the excuse out earlier. I've had a migraine all afternoon. All right.
You've got to open with that for us to believe it.
Yeah. Yeah, I've got
to. Go on, next one.
I've got to work on my excuse game. Greg Priest, we switched off.
Did we? For the first one, I think we did a little bit. I can't remember their other 2 goals. I think did we?
Well, so you had the equaliser from Sammy Skimodics where he's cut across.
That's
Harry
true.
Clark.
Yeah. For the first one, I said we backed off. Would probably be better off for that. But yeah, like we've said, I think we could shore up the defence at least.
Yeah, and then the second goal was obviously a Harry Clarkson to go with Brandon Williamson's own goal.
Yeah, that was pretty unlucky, but yeah,
you could have that, couldn't you? Fullbacks with uns on the end. Harry Clarkson, Williamson.
They'd all have to be Icelandic, or
hey. Yeah, get Herman back in. Steve Wright, no fingernails.
Yeah, that's true. I did catch myself biting my nails at 3-3. I have to say. Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, I think that's probably very fair. And last but not least, Andrew Peck, simply brilliant football.
Yeah, I think that's the lovely way to end it, isn't it? It doesn't at the moment. We concede 3, we score 4, we go away, we win 1-0. We're being hypercritical to come up with anything remotely constructive about this team on 21 points after 8 games. So, yeah,
it's great, isn't it? It's great. It's finally good to do a bunch of shows where you're not being negative, or feel like you're being negative. Even if you're just speaking the truth, it's like find me a positive story that I could talk about Ipswich Town, will you? And it's like we've been sat here for many times on a Monday night thinking it's ugly, man. But right now it's so good. But there is the matter of a game tomorrow. Score prediction for tomorrow. I've asked a random contributor, as I do before every single game, to give me a score prediction. I've gone 2-1 Town. Brandon Williamson to get 1, and obviously Dane Scarlett to get the second one. Obviously, obvs. I asked Ben Milk Tray Man Adams for his score prediction. He said 1-1, and I would just like to tell you. And he said I can quote him on this before people get what. I'm sharing a private WhatsApp message with the live audience. This is what he said when I asked him for his score prediction for tomorrow. There's 2 answers. The first is a cup game interests me about as much as celibacy, so I don't care. And the other answer is 1-1. So he's gone 1-1.
Will it end 1-1? Isn't there? There's no replays.
No, it can't end 1-1.
Okay.
But after his first answer, I then go back.
This show goes from strength to strength.
But after his first answer about being as interested as celibacy, I decided I wasn't going to go back to him with a clarification.
When you take this graphic down, you're going to realise that it's gone back to the old background as well, which is just.
It has. I know. There you go. But
Mondays.
What's your score? What's your score going to be?
I think I actually was thinking about this earlier because I assumed you were going to say I was going to say 2-1 Town. I think we might edge them. So
yeah,
let's go with that.
I've just had a word in my ear that Ben says 1-1 Town on penalties. There you go.
2-1. 2-1 after extra time.
Yeah. 1-1 replay. Roy Clark 2-0. 2-1 says Kel. 2-1 says Mike Woods. Streaky 94. Town 3-1. And Metal Jace 2-2. There you go. Look, we aim to be correct on this platform. We aim to be entertaining. So I hope you had a lovely evening laughing at Brandon Williamson, Dane Scarlett Cup tied, promotion in September. All manner of different things on this evening's first Monday night show back. It's great to be back, George.
It is indeed.
He says through gritted teeth, thinking, phone my agent up. Get me off this platform. If he phones again, don't let him answer the phone. Love it. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the show. We'll see you all on Wednesday for another Matchday preview. We'll catch you down the road.
You make me smile when I think of you. If I